สวัสดีค่ะ Thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and on NBT World. It's a Friday. The date is October 30th, and you're with me, Sandra Hanutsaha. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, the Prime Minister has met with the newly appointed U.S. Ambassador to Thailand, who expressed his wish to see the kingdom adhere to its roadmap while affirming to push forward all existing cooperation. According to an announcement by Deputy Government Spokesperson Major General Wirathon Sukhontapatipak, U.S. Ambassador to the Kingdom of Thailand, His Excellency Glenn T. Davies, has paid a courtesy call on General Prayut Chan-o-cha, Thai Prime Minister and Chief of the National Council for Peace and Order at Government House. The meeting was mainly aimed at tightening the bilateral relations and friendship between the two countries and establishing coordination in various areas. There was an exchange of opinions on such topics as security, economics, and public health, along with others of mutual interest. General Prayut also took this opportunity to shed light on national problems and clarify the reform roadmap adopted by his administration. In response, the U.S. Ambassador expressed an understanding of the situation, as well as faith in the Prime Minister's commitment to leading the country towards the desired goal. Mr. Davies insisted that the U.S.'s perception of Thailand has not changed. He then encouraged the government to continue moving the country forward in accordance with the roadmap, while suggesting it to open channels for people in all sectors to make their voices heard during the reform process.
Our meeting got into so many different issues. We had an opportunity to have a very good exchange of views, and I appreciate very much that the Prime Minister gave me so much time. And we talked about all of the issues that are on the table between the United States and the Kingdom of Thailand. You know the list very well, all the way from our security relationship to our economic relationship, the global health agenda, all of the issues that matter to Thailand and matter to the United States.
Deputy Prime Minister and Defense Minister General Prawit Wongsuwan says the European Union is satisfied with the government's crackdown on illegal, unreported, and unregulated, or IUU, fishing, but urged that human trade should be addressed urgently. General Prawit disclosed that the EU had admired the government for its all-out efforts to deal with illegal fishing, but suggested that the government pay attention to the living condition of workers on fishing boats. According to the EU, there are still a number of alien workers on board Thai-flagged vessels in international waters. General Prawit confirmed that the government had made significant progress in the campaign against IUU fishing, adding that the EU had given the country 3 months to solve the problem within December. The Deputy Prime Minister and Defense Minister revealed that a request would be made to the Cabinet at their meeting next week to issue 3 emergency decrees on the fishing industry. The government has declared illegal fishing a national agenda following the EU's decision to hand the country a yellow card for its inadequate attempt to tackle IUU fishing. Former Education Minister Somsak Pirisanananthagun has denied allegations that he falsified his asset statements. Meanwhile, the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, is to reconvene on November 5th to question both the former minister and the plaintiff. The NLA agreed to hear the impeachment case of the former official, which had been submitted by the National Anti-Corruption Commission, or NACC. NACC Commissioner Narong Ratamarit delivered the opening statement to the Assembly on behalf of the plaintiff, accusing Mr. Somsak of possessing unusual wealth and falsifying his asset statements, which serve as the grounds for impeachment. Mr. Narong pointed to a 16 million baht house built in 1998 by the defendant during his years as Deputy Education Minister. The house was not included as part of Mr. Somsak's asset statement. In addition, Mr. Somsak failed to disclose all of his savings. The NACC therefore concluded that the former minister was indeed guilty of possessing unusual wealth and intentionally falsifying his asset statements. In his opening rebuttal, Mr. Somsak denied that he had given false asset statements, saying he funded the construction of his house through income from his political position and his rice mill business. He also affirmed that his wealth was acquired through honest means and pleaded with the NLA to exercise fair judgment. After the opening statements, the NLA agreed to set up a 7-member hearing committee to question the two parties based on questions submitted by NLA members, and the NLA members have until October 30th to submit their questions to the committee, while the hearing session is scheduled to take place on November 5th at 10 a.m. The chairman of the Constitution Drafting Commission, or CDC, is confident that a mixed-member proportional representation election process will help strengthen the country's political party system. Constitution Drafting Commission, or CDC, Chairman Micharotupan was joined by his fellow charter drafters in a news conference on the mixed-member proportional representation system under the new Constitution. Mr. Michai said that this election system is intended to make sure that no vote is wasted, as it will respect every vote cast by the people. He assured the community that the system would make political parties stronger and allow them to be more thorough in selecting their election candidates, while confirming that no party stands to lose or gain an advantage over the others under this system. Mr. Michai went on to say that it is not true that candidates who lose out to the vote no option will never get to run in any election for the rest of their lives, but conceded that the CDC has not yet decided if such a loser should skip one election before being able to try again. The spokesman of the Constitution Drafting Commission, or CDC, has revealed that the charter drafters already started deliberating the issue of constitutional organizations, although no conclusion has been derived yet. CDC spokesman Amon Wanitmiwat said that the charter drafters have started the discussion concerning the origin, the elements, the qualifications, and the duties of any independent organizations set up under the Constitution. Such organizations are, for example, the Election Commission, the Office of the Ombudsman Thailand, the National Anti-Corruption Commission, and the Office of the Auditor General. Mr. Amon said that the CDC has not reached any conclusion on these issues yet. The Government Housing Bank, or GH Bank, is allocating 10 billion baht for its new real estate credit program, offering loans to low to medium income real estate buyers with debt service ratios of up to 50%. GH Bank's Chiang Mai branch manager Pongsakorn Tulanon has announced in a press conference that the move is in line with the government's policy of stimulating the country's real estate sector and extending more credit to low and medium income earners. The new loan program extends no more than 3 million baht in credit to real estate buyers earning less than 30,000 baht per month, with a debt service ratio of 40 to 50% of the monthly income. Interest rate for the first year will be at 3.5% and increase to 4.25% in the following year. Meanwhile, Mr. Kruk Wanitgun, chairman of GH Bank, said the scheme is quite popular among the public. However, the exact number is still hard to determine.
10 billion baht is started on the 19th of this month. We are now into the second week, and people have shown their interest in borrowing from us up to the amount of 9 billion already. So the interest is huge. What I mean is that they come to see our officials, ask for the conditions of the loan. Some handed in applications, but we don't know for sure until the contracts are signed and the money is drawn down. So we have to wait and see a bit whether that would happen, and we expect that to happen in the end of this year.
Mr. Pongsakorn added that those who are interested in the program can apply beginning on October 19th of this year at GH banks across the country, or call 02-645-9000 or visit worldwideweb.ghbank.co.th, as well as the GH Bank Facebook page. The Ministry of Commerce has unveiled details of a report by the International Monetary Fund, or IMF, in which exports of Thailand for this year are projected to contract less than many other countries. Director of the Office of Trade Policy and Strategy, Somkiat Triratanapan, made known that the October 2015 World Economic Outlook report has just been released by the IMF. The report estimates the world's total export value throughout this year at $16.53 billion US, down from last year by 11.17%, with the slow economic recovery claimed as the main reason. The average price of export goods around the world is predicted to decrease 16.9%, in line with the declining fuel prices. The IMF has also decided to lower its global economic growth target to 3.1%, the lowest since the 2009 economic recession. As for Thai exports, the IMF indicated that growth during January to September of 2015 shrank 4.98%. However, the figure is considered minimal when compared with contractions in other countries, such as Russia at 30.7%, New Zealand at 17.6%, India at 15.3%, Singapore at 14%, and the United States at 6.1%. Siam City Park hosted a press conference with traditional Thai puppets renowned for their highlight performance, Jewel of ASEAN, briefly performing at the gathering. On the 19th of November of 2015, Her Royal Highness Princess Somsawali will preside over the ASEAN Lantern Festival, which will be held from the 19th of November until the 22nd of February next year. The Public Relations Department will also hold an ASEAN festival called Welcome to the ASEAN Community from the 23rd to the 26th of December of 2015. The ASEAN Festival celebrates the famous landmarks of each ASEAN member country, such as the Merlion of Singapore, Petronas Twin Towers of Malaysia, and Angkor Wat of Cambodia. Dr. Chaiwat Leung Amonlet, Chief Executive Officer of the Siam City Park, and Mr. Jarun Chaisorn, Deputy Director General of the Public Relations Department, offered information about the ASEAN Lantern Festival at the press conference. The event is expected to significantly help boost Thai tourism as well as promote Bangkok's Siam City Park. And Buddhist Thais joined the annual Takbat Tewo almsgiving at the Bangkok Temple of Wat Uthai Tharam. The event marked the end of this year's Buddhist Rains Retreat, which also is known as Buddhist Lent. The event attracted a large number of attendees seeking to make merit during this sacred occasion. Buddhists were seen handing out food, flowers, and other offerings to the monks. The abbot at Wat Uthai Tharam explained that the event marks the end of the 3-month Buddhist Lent on the night of the first day of the 11th lunar month. He said Takbat Tewo almsgiving is a long-standing tradition dating back to the beginning of the Buddhist era. And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. It's time for a break, but first, here are the exchange rates and the commodity prices.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The fourth core value: seeking direct and indirect knowledge and education.
Even if we don't see them, they are amongst us. And they're hungry. Slay your power-sucking monsters. Take their power away. Think when you plug.
ASEAN Political and Security Community. Prevent being deceived. Prevent being forced. Prevent being injured. The problem of human trafficking in children, women, and labor has been increasingly severe. Thailand and the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights are working together to get rid of these problems in order to be fully accepted by the international community. One vision, one identity, one community.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Laos, like many countries in ASEAN, has a distinct and diverse culture, and with so many sites to visit, it's another great place to go on vacation. And if you are a business person, this means opportunities for hospitality businesses to grow. Manot Sisansap is in Laos with the report.
Ongoing construction throughout the city of Vientiane, the capital of Laos, whether it's roads, buildings of offices, shopping malls, hospitals, or hotels, everything is growing. The country is really expanding. Massive foreign investment is coming to Laos for both business and leisure development. Being a great tourism spot, the bulk of the investment here is in hospitality, such as restaurants and hotels. There are ample opportunities for new hospitality businesses in Laos, and Ms. Thanaporn Dawrodom, the owner of Sabaidi at Lao Hotel, gave us a glimpse of her hotel investment, thriving since she came here in 2009.
When I first came to invest in Laos 6 years ago, back then, Laos just starting to opening itself, and the economy is expanding. They allow more foreign investors to come. Laos during that time received the opportunity to host its first SEA Games. I saw that this is the opportunity because we have been trading with Laos, and I saw that the country is continuously growing. And during that time, there aren't so many hotels too.
Sabaidi at Lao Hotel is located in Vientiane City, with 80 rooms available. The rooms are offered as classic or superior. Service here follows Thai hospitality standards, as the owner is Thai, while the staff are Laotian. Ms. Thanaporn taught the staff aspects of Thai hospitality and culture, which includes greeting guests with a why. Well-known Thai standards of service are a highlight of this hotel. High season in Laos is between October to March, when the hotel is filled with guests, mostly coming to visit Vientiane as a connecting destination before heading to other cultural heritage sites such as Luang Prabang, Pak Se, or Wang Vieng. At other times, most of the customers staying in hotels in Laos are businessmen, as Vientiane is considered a business city.
Investing in hotel business in Laos is worth the risk, but one must find the right location, especially if you can get one in Luang Prabang, Pak Se, or in the southern part of Laos. Will be a good opportunity and ought to make good profit. You should clearly know who's your target and supply what they demand.
Investing in the hotel business in Laos is not difficult, but what's important is investors to thoroughly study the laws and regulations here. Despite Laos' openness to doing business, the country also imposes restrictions, whether it's the area size or the height of a building. Most important is to consider the right location to fit in with the target customer. And as Laos greatly expands, hospitality is certain to expand even more in the future as well. For NBT World, I'm Pranot Sinsap in Vientiane, Laos.
On to news from elsewhere in the world, a volcano in central Mexico has erupted, belching ash and smoke across blue skies. At 8:57 a.m. local time, a spectacular column of ash erupted from the Popocatépetl volcano, located 80 kilometers southeast of the capital. National Civil Protection Coordinator Luis Felipe Puente said in his Twitter account, ash and smoke rose 3,000 meters above the crater of the volcano in the direction to the northeast. Mexico's National Center for Disaster Prevention reported that a total of 141 exhalations of low intensity in the last 24 hours have been reported, following a series of rumblings at the massive volcano in recent months. Mexico contains over 3,000 volcanoes, but only 14 are considered active. In Florida, of the U.S. airport officials said on Thursday operations are resuming after 15 were injured in the fire on a Dynamic Airways plane in Fort Lauderdale. Emergency News responded at about 4:45 p.m. GMT to the fire in a Dynamic Airways plane on the airport taxiway, evacuating 101 passengers and crew. Amateur video showed thick black smoke billowing from the plane. Broward Sheriff Fire Rescue spokesman Mike Juggles said one person was seriously injured in the fire, despite a prompt response by emergency crews. Airport spokesman Greg Mayer said one runway was back in operation, but there was no timetable for when the airport's north runway would reopen and the plane would be moved. The Federal Aviation Administration said in a statement the plane had experienced a fuel leak before takeoff. And that's all we have for you in this edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, do feel free to email them to us at newsline.ndt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on our Facebook page by simply typing in NNT. And do check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. We're going to say goodbye with footage of Galapagos tortoises at the San Diego Zoo, celebrating Halloween with a pumpkin breakfast. I'm Sand Farhan and Saha. From all of us at Newsline, have a happy Halloween. Sawadee ka.